Lizzie McGuire, you are an outfit repeater.
The idea for this video sparked from a comment under my past video, Clothing Sucks. But truthfully, this has been a topic that's been on my mind for years. Growing up in the United States, I never understood why people would buy so much clothes only to wear them once or never again. If you didn't have triple the amount of wardrobe than days of the week, you were deemed an outfit repeater, poor, and ugly. Their words, not mine. In my past video, Clothing Sucks, I stated that I would wear clothes until they would literally fall apart. But I made that sound like it was a good thing when in reality, I had stains, holes, and loose threads in some of these clothes. Mind you, I had these clothes for years, but I didn't want to get rid of them because I needed something different to wear to school, even if it meant repairing them and sewing up these clothes to salvage the damage that I could. It was either that, or else I would face the consequences at school for being an outfit repeater. Kids are not innocent. They are brutal and will roast you to oblivion. My parents didn't grow up in the US, so they had a different mindset when it came to how many clothes were deemed necessary for the school year. I remember begging my parents that I needed more clothes, but they never saw the issue. Their logic was, if you have at least 5 clothes for each weekday when you're at school, then you have an outfit for each day. Which they were right, but they didn't have to deal with the consequences of their clothes unraveling at the seams or hand-me-downs that were too big to fit me. Needless to say, I have some grievances I would like to air out from childhood. Some people claim that celebrities and influencers have impacted people not wanting to repeat their outfits, but I have to disagree. This has been a thing long before social media. Appearance is everything in this society. After all, with certain jobs you can't get the role unless you have a certain car. And if you're in a certain profession, clients judge you for the clothes you wear. Or during the MLM craze, it was highly encouraged to post about how luxurious of a lifestyle you led, to push the narrative about how great it was to be in a pyramid scheme. But I digress. The thing I see from the fear of outfit repeating is peer pressure. People are afraid of judgment. Clothes are the first things that someone notices about a person. No one wants to be associated with the negative perceptions that come with outfit repeating. People automatically assume that you're dirty, poor, or don't shower. A quick fix solution to this for many was fast fashion brands, which only put a band-aid on the problem of not being able to afford clothes. Because as we all know it has long-term environmental effects and ethical issues. I discuss this more in my Clothing Sucks video if you're interested in hearing more of my thoughts on the matter. The appeal of fast fashion is that you can get relatively cheap clothes, and if you don't love it when you receive it in person, the financial consequences aren't as bad as if you shopped at an expensive brand. So for many, they inevitably end up with more clothes when they shop at fast fashion because the price is so low. So people tend to fall into the mentality of, well, it's only $10 more, and then end up buying more clothes than they intended, resulting in overconsumption. In 2020, the pandemic changed the way that consumers shopped. E-commerce was popular prior to this event, but being confined to our homes has significantly altered consumer patterns and has left an impact on how we shop online. E-commerce has been thriving since, and many people are trying to join in and capitalize on this growing industry. For reference, e-commerce sales increased by $244.2 billion, or 43% in 2020. The pandemic helped further condition us to rely on e-commerce. Even my mother, who wants me to fix the internet all the time at home, isn't tech savvy at all. But now that's all she does, shop online. And this is coming from my mother, who wants nothing to do with technology, is very traditional, and still wants me to write down directions for her on paper instead of using a GPS. But I digress. A lot more people resort to buying online when they want to purchase something because of how convenient it is. You don't have to worry about the hassle of waiting in line, getting gas, or dressing up. You can receive anything you need with the click of a button. However, that doesn't come without downsides. When you shop online versus in person, you don't reap the benefits of in-person shopping. When you're in person, you get to see what the clothing looks like. You can touch, feel, examine it, and try it on if you want. You don't get that luxury for online shopping. Sure, you can return it if you don't love it anymore, but then you have to go to the post office to return it, so that still creates more of a hassle than if you went in-store to try it on. Even if the details and description are down to a T, what you see is not always what you get. There are a lot of dishonest sellers who will fabricate the quality or condition of an item that they want to sell to you, because at the end of the day, it's a business, so a lot of people are willing to cheat and lie to get your money. One time I bought a pair of Converse from Poshmark listed for around $60. The photos look relatively new. As a precaution, I asked the seller if there were any issues with them, and the seller insisted that there weren't any problems with them. When I received it in the mail, I was appalled. First of all, they were wrapped in dirty plastic bags, which I can overlook because it's not like I'm buying imported shoes from Italy. But when I uncovered these dirty plastic bags, the shoes were even dirtier. Which, again, I can forgive if the shoes were a fraction of the price of what they were listed for, but they were not.
What an interesting artifact.
Unfortunately, the surprises didn't stop there. I inspected the shoes even further and the soles were not intact at all. I was mortified. I immediately requested a refund, and if it wasn't for Poshmark stepping in, the seller would not have refunded my money. A lot of times this isn't the case. Oftentimes the case has to be really bad before they will intervene for an unfair purchase. Sometimes sellers or companies have the attitude of, you snooze, you lose. So you end up keeping it to collect dust in your closet or throwing it away altogether. Let's say this scenario wasn't as severe, because sometimes there's nothing wrong with the item. In fact, let's say it's perfect. It's everything the description said it was. But when you get it in person, you don't love it as much as you thought you would. You loved it on the model in the picture. You love the idea on your Pinterest board. But when you try it on for the first time, perhaps you simply just don't love it on you. And it turns out it's not your style. You end up keeping it to give it a chance, or because they don't accept refunds. But you just don't love it like you initially did. So you end up buying more clothes. Or, God forbid you love it, but it doesn't fit your size when you receive it in the mail. Vanity sizing makes it impossible to trust the sizing online. If you're unfamiliar with vanity sizing is a common fashion industry practice used today that often involves labeling clothes with smaller sizes than their actual measurement size. Vanity sizing is really problematic because sizing with different clothing companies are not the same across the board. To put this into perspective for you, I'm typically a medium or large, but will usually size up. However, I fit into an extra small in one company and an extra large at another, and they both fit me perfectly, so someone's lying here. That's why I roll my eyes at one size fits all, because even if it fits many, it does not fit the same way on every body type, because again, everyone's body is different. Everyone has different proportions, and is just not the same. This causes a lot of online returns that either end up in landfills or leads people to be forced to keep it all together. It doesn't matter how beautiful an article of clothing is. If it doesn't fit you, what good does it serve you? Not every person has the same body type, so one design may not translate to everyone's body proportions. If it doesn't fit you in all the right places, then the original design isn't going to look as good as what you envisioned it. Vanity sizing also makes it more difficult to keep or rewear items if you are already struggling to find or shop for a style. That's why people buy whatever is recommended to them, what they see trending, or rely on what they see on social media to gauge what they like. This isn't in bad faith because, again, sometimes you truly think you love the item until you try it on for the first time. Marketing has gotten more effective at hooking consumers more than ever, especially since everyone is now online. More ads are pushed in our face, so it feels like something is always being sold to us every time we open up a website or go on an app without even having the intention to buy anything. If they want us to buy something, they're going to try their damnedest to do so, and people often fall victim to the tactics of marketing. There's always the message that you need something that you don't necessarily need. Sure, I may want this item, but I don't need it, can easily turn into, and yeah, I may not need, insert here, but wouldn't it be nice if I treated myself? You don't have to be poor to outfit repeat. It supposedly alludes to status, but those who are truly successful in life don't have anything to prove to anyone. The biggest gag of all is that real-life successful people wear the same clothes and are outfit repeaters. And for everyone asking, why are you wearing the same thing twice? Well, in response to that I say, I repeat outfits because I like my clothes. Sorry that I like the way I dress myself. Sorry that I have a personality outside of wearing what other people are wearing. If you're someone who is an outfit repeater, keep on saving the environment and don't let the opinion of others affect how you live. And for those who have a problem with outfit repeating, I present you mankind's greatest invention, a washer machine. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom. Less is more in this society, and I am at peace with the number of clothing that I have in my closet. even if that means I have to outfit repeat. I never cared for what was trendy, but what was in my budget and what was cute. At the end of the day, it's my wallet and how I present myself to the world. If you're not paying my bills, then I don't care about how you feel. Trends come and go, but style is forever. Here at the Misfit in Threads, we honor misfits for going against the grain and setting trends despite what the norm is. This week, the misfit that I would like to honor is Lizzie McGuire. I commend her for her bravery for outfit repeating at her middle school graduation and going against Kate Sanders. Kate Sanders, on the other hand, is this week's fashion offender for being in an outfit I can't.